Let me know when we're ready to go. All right, cool.
All right.
Okay, hello, Fit Mama. Welcome to the call tonight. I'm filling in for Candace. Those of you who do not know me, I'm Danielle Chanus, a one-star diamond with Fit Mama. And tonight we have a very special guest with us, which we are going to get to in a moment. And we're going to be touching on how to brand ourselves with, I like to think of him as a major genius in this particular area. So before I get to our special guest, we have a few people to recognize tonight. We've got some new Emerald coaches on the team. So I would like to congratulate Tammy DeWolf, Charlene Heidman, Kara Connor, Jean Olson, and Jen Murphy. Congratulations, guys, on becoming Emerald. This is like a huge deal. You're starting your business. This is where it all starts. So congratulations. That's definitely a milestone for you. And we've got Ruby and Diamond on the way. So keep up the good work. And we also have a new Ruby coach in the house, Michelle Toludo. Congratulations, Michelle. You're very close. Pretty soon you're going to be Diamond, and then it's just going to go up from there. So Ruby is very exciting. So congratulations to all of you. And then just a few reminders that we've got a couple of fun contests. Who doesn't like a contest? Who doesn't like cash prizes? So we have the Emerald City contest. So don't forget, in April, anyone that turns emeralds will be entered into a raffle to win $125. So very cool. Who doesn't want $125, right? We've also got April's Top Recruiter contest. So whoever recruits the most coaches in April can win $150. Hey, I want that in December. I got a pair of sneakers. That's still cool. I'd rather have had the cash. Just saying. Just kidding. Not going to be greedy here. And then we've got lastly, the Diamond Dash is now open. The link to join is on Fit Mama. The last jackpot was actually $7,000. So this is like a really big deal. So if I just said your name, emeralds and rubies and even coaches, definitely enter into this contest. If you hit diamond, you get some of that jackpot. And if you're the only diamond, hello, let's go shopping. So,
Danielle, were you in the Diamond Dash that just finished like 2 weeks ago?
I wasn't. No, I wish. Wish I would have gotten some good money. So, speaking of who just spoke, we're going to now present tonight's guest speaker. I am so excited. I totally hit him up like a few days ago, and the fact that he's even being able to do this with us like in such short notice is so awesome and so amazing. So most of you know him as that hysterical Beachbody coach on YouTube. And I like to call him, of course, the marketing genius. He is also a Diamond Beachbody coach and Success Club All-Star. This guy, I mean, not a surprise with his videos, has hit Success Club for 20 months in a row. Hello, someone's doing something right. So we've all had the pleasure of laughing out loud with him, and then of course being super eager to forward it to our friends. And although we're used to watching him on video, tonight we actually have the pleasure of hearing him speak live about his specialty, which is how to brand yourself. If anyone knows how to market and brand, it's Caleb Thomas. So without further ado, Caleb.
All right. Is this that fun moment where I actually get to speak to everybody?
It does.
Okay. So I'm going to sort of start off the call with a little bit of a disclaimer. I might be a little bit different, surprisingly, than I am on my YouTube videos because the format's different. On my YouTube videos, I have time to like think about every single word I'm going to say, and I'm like succinct and very like smart sounding, and it's like I know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and it's perfect, and it's, you know, there's no gaps in between there. But I'm probably going to be like all over the place on this call and have crazy energy that might not line up exactly with my my YouTube videos, and I'll get distracted by my dog who's trying to dig through my bed. I don't know what she's doing right now, but she's being cute, and I'm trying to not be distracted by that. But let's get started here. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me, first off, Danielle, to even be on the call with you guys. I hope you guys know that, I don't take your time for granted, and I look forward to these kinds of calls, and that's why I'm here. That's why I said yes, even on short notice. And I get excited when I get to sort of share my ideas and thoughts with people. So hopefully you guys walk away from this call with at least one nugget. And I think you'll get at least one, but I'm excited. So let's get started. So a little bit more about me before we get to the main topic. Like she said, I'm Caleb Thomas. I'm the funny YouTube guy. I'm from Central Pennsylvania. I'm 27 years old. I almost said 26 because I just turned, in October. That's a long time ago. Never mind. I've been with Beachbody for 2 years now. I started back in college when I got P90X. Funny story about that little bunny trail. When I first started, I got it off of Craigslist. I know, burn me at the stake. You shouldn't ever encourage anybody to do that. But that's where I got it. I actually sold my blood plasma because I was so broke to get P90X and earn some blood money, as I call it. And I went on Craigslist and bought it, and I met this guy at the gas station before police stations had set up Craigslist meeting points. But met this guy at the gas station, and he had a hoodie on, no joke. And he walks up to me. He's like, "You have the money?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Do you have the discs?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then we did like this crazy swap thing, like really awkward in the corner of a gas station. And then we didn't say anything else. We just went our separate ways, and it was like, I call it the healthiest drug deal that ever happened. So that's how I got started with P90X and my personal transformation. I was, in a really unhealthy rut. I was, living off of blood money. I was donating plasma twice a week to make some extra money for groceries and just to survive and to, make it from week to week. And, I was eating a cheap pizza on my bed the one night, watching YouTube videos, which was my routine. I eat a whole pizza on my own. And I saw an advertisement on YouTube for this crazy program called P90X, and Wayne Wyatt, if you guys recognize that name, he was top coach 2 years in a row, a couple years ago. He had these amazing Greek god abs after he did P90X. And I was like, I want that. And then he said something on the video about when I did P90X, my eyeballs fell out and I bled out my anus and it was awesome and I got totally jacked. Check it out. And I was like, I want that even more now. And that's what made me decide to do it. And then I found it on Craigslist. I totally just said anus on a webinar. I'm sorry. I get excited sometimes. Thumbs up. I saw that. But it was awesome. I got P90X, got a total body transformation. I made huge changes to the way that I ate and the way that I slept and worked, and my work ethic and school changed, and everything, changed from that point on. And it was awesome. And the person that I signed up with for free coaching actually invited me for 3 years. And for 3 years, I said no. I said I didn't want to be involved with your pyramid scheme crap. I didn't want to be involved with your network marketing bull. I want a real job someday. I want to do this lame crap that you guys do to annoy people. And for 3 years I said no. So let that be the first encouraging point in this call. If you're out there talking to people, whether it's about the coaching opportunity or about trying Shakeology or a challenge pack or just messaging somebody to say hi and they don't respond to you, don't give up on those people. Because had my coach not had the foresight and not had the belief in me that I didn't even have in myself for 3 solid years, and he never took no for an answer, if he didn't do that for 3 solid years, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. I would still be in a restaurant making $2.83 an hour to pick bubble gum off the bottom of tables. And I'm not going to get emotional about it either, because that always hits me. I used to be in a point in my life where I was not happy. I was not Caleb Thomas. I wasn't living the life that I knew I was designed to live. But now I'm here, so it's a happy story. We're going to move on from that. So as soon as I became a coach, we're going to sort of work into our topic tonight. As soon as I became a coach, I kind of felt like finally I could be the real me. After I graduated college from Penn State with a music performance degree in trumpet, music nerd, band nerd, I was fried from music, so I couldn't even think about using the degree that I just spent thousands of dollars on. So I didn't want to go into music. I got my pilot's license because I thought, well, maybe I'll fly planes because that's kind of cool. So I got my pilot's license, and then I realized that that's not a career I want. And then I decided, well, maybe I'll go into the Air Force because, serve country, fly planes, do everything that I'm, good at already, and for a good cause. No, I washed out of that. And then I decided, well, maybe I'll go into Army because Army has helicopters, and helicopters are really cool. Apaches. And I got all the way through the processing for that, saw a YouTube video at the very end of my processing that just totally wrecked me. I couldn't go into war to kill people. It's just not the person that I could be. And that totally wrecked me. So I had to drop out of that. And then I thought, well, I don't want to kill people. I want to protect people. So I'll become a police officer. And I went through all the processing to become a state police officer. And my polygraph exam washed me out of that because apparently I lied about doing drugs. Never did drugs. And then all sorts of other things. I did construction. I did all these different jobs. And I ended up in a restaurant bussing tables as a 26-year-old, or I guess at that point, 25 years old, and college graduate, the world at my fingertips, but here I was bussing tables, and I knew I was made for something better than that. I knew I had a life by design waiting for me, but I just hadn't realized it yet. And Beachbody was what kind of stepped into my life after 3 years of being right in front of me. I realized it finally. I had this, I realized, hey, this is something I need to do. And it took me 6 months to really get into it. And 2 years after I signed up, I'm here full time. But it was amazing because I could take it, and I realized early on as a coach that I could be me. I could be Caleb Thomas as a Beachbody coach. I didn't have to be, black pants, white shirt, perfect apron, pens on one side, say this when you go to your tables. I could be whatever I wanted to be. I could say anus on a webinar in front of all of you guys and get nothing but smiles back. And some of you were like, oh, you shouldn't say that on webinars. I don't care. I'm Caleb, and that's what I do. And I love it. And that's what first woke me up to how awesome this Beachbody thing was. Hey, finally I have a job. I have a career option in front of me where I can just be who I want and take it and wrap it around me as a blanket and feel so warm and fuzzy and wonderful. And that kind of leads us into our topic perfectly. And I'm going to get to it, I promise. The topic for tonight is creating a brand for yourself and developing that. So ultimately you can attract people to you. I'll humbly say that over the past 2 years, I've developed a pretty exciting attraction market. And the way that I've done that is exactly what I'm going to share with you guys tonight. And I think you might be a little bit surprised at the advice I'm going to give you. So I'm excited about this. Honestly, I'm always excited to share this kind of topic with people because it was just literally within the past couple months that I really, truly felt like I unlocked this and discovered, quote, discovered what my brand was. And I'm certainly still developing it and still figuring it out day to day. But I think you'll at least be able to get an idea of what I'm talking about. So we're going to ask some questions and just answer those questions, and I think it'll start make sense. So the first question is, first off, what the heck is branding? What does that even mean? What are we talking about when we say branding ourselves or creating a brand? Because we always hear people saying, finding your niche in the business, or I never know how to say that word, niche or niche. Niche, finding your niche in the business, or making this business your own, or standing out from the crowd and making your mark, or being unique, or having an impact. All these different things, they make sense to me, but I'm stupid. I like things really, really simple. So this is how I define creating a brand. And are you ready for this? This is pretty awesome. Drum roll. It means branding yourself by being you, and then calling that your brand. Being you unapologetically, no more, no less. Being you and developing that into your brand. And I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking freaking serious? Are you serious? We're spending all night listening to this guy and he's just going to tell us to be ourselves. stick with me. I know it's really simple, but it's going to make sense here in a little bit. I have a fun analogy I want to share with you that I don't know how it came to me, but I love it, and I think you're going to get a lot of it. So here's what it comes down to. Okay, well, next question. We'll go to the next question. Why is creating our brand as individuals in Beachbody or in any business really, why should we even think about this? Why is it important? What it comes down to is the leaders of this business in the Beachbody world or of any business, like I just said, they're constantly taking the time to think about what makes them unique. Because they have their brand established for their business, they attract people to them because they have that brand. It's as simple as like Ford cars attracting people that want to drive Fords, brand loyalty, and then Honda attracting people that want to drive Hondas. If somebody wants a Honda crotch rocket, a GSX-R 100 billion thousand miles per hour bike, they're not going to go to a Ford dealership to get it because it's a Honda. They're obviously going to go to a Honda dealership to get it. So that's why it's important to establish the brand. So people that can identify with your brand go to it and get it and get what they want. I think everybody gets that concept. It's pretty simple. So crowd interaction, head shake, yes. Okay, cool. I'm not on mute. That's good. So here's an example in the Beachbody coach world. We're gonna sort of like break this down a little bit. Most of you, if you've been in the business for any length of time, you probably know the two names Lindsay Matway and Lindsay Stay. They're two Beachbody coaches that have the same first name. They both have long, luscious blonde hair. They're both on the Bombshell Dynasty, which is the team name. They're both women, as far as we know. I shouldn't say that. They're both successful as coaches as far as most of our standards are. They're both doing pretty well with this. But despite all of those similarities, they somehow, even though they have the same name, the same hair, the same team, they're both successful, they're both good looking, they're both whatever, they stand out from each other. How does that happen? It's because they're totally different people. They have totally different brands as Beachbody coaches, and they attract totally different audiences to themselves that have different interests. It's as simple as it gets. I'm going to touch on this again a little bit later. Actually, you know what? We're going to do it right now. Dang it. Live in the moment. Okay, so this is an analogy. You're unique. You're unique from every single other person out there. And this is super important to realize when we're developing our brands because, a lot of people say that we're not unique enough. We don't have a brand that's worth developing, or we don't have anything that stands out enough to make us special, or we don't have, that extra little bam, kick it up a notch that other people have that just, they've got it easy. They just are successful because of that. I don't believe that at all. Those 7 billion people on this earth, I believe pretty strongly that God created every single one of them differently for a reason. And that's hard for me to fathom because I can honestly only come up with like 2 decent recipes for my chocolate Shakeology, and God can come up with 7 billion recipes for humans. The point is, if you're human, you're unique from everybody else out there. So you've got things that make you special. You've got the exact combination of things in your life that makes you you. And that's important because here's the example. My analogy is this. So check out this lock. I don't know if any of you saw this video. I did a video on this the other a couple of weeks ago. But if you've already seen it, just hang with me here. So this is just like a regular lock. Okay, it's one of those combination locks that has the different nut dials on it, and you line the dials up with the red line, and then it unlocks and it works. So this lock represents you, or your business, or your brand. Okay, and the numbers on the dial go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, and then back to 0. And we've seen all these numbers before, right? They're nothing standoutish. Well, these numbers represent individual characteristics. So number 0 is long blonde hair, and number 1 is likes to golf. And number 2 is has kids. Number 3 is enjoys underwater basket weaving. Whatever. They're all different things. And we've seen all these individual numbers before. They're nothing new. There's nothing like, who cares? Whatever. Lindsay Matway has blonde hair. I've seen that before. Lindsay Matway is a girl. I've seen that before. Lindsay Matway has a baby girl. I've seen that before. Lindsay Matway lives in Florida. I've seen that before. What's the big deal? The cool thing is when you take this lock and you put your individual characteristics in and you line them all up, regardless of how exciting they are or not, suddenly it unlocks and something amazing happens. You unlock who you are, your brand. And again, I'll repeat, the individual numbers are nothing new. You've seen all of those numbers before. You've seen the characteristics before, and they don't stand out on their own. But when you line them up in the right combination, things happen. Magical things happen. You discover your combination that makes your brand. But this is the problem with this same analogy, okay? So everyone's like, awesome. What's Caleb's combination lock? Okay, he makes videos. I'm going to set it there. Okay, he makes videos. He has a dog. I'm going to set it to that one. He's funny. I'm going to try and be funny. I'm going to set it to that one. And what's one more thing? Oh, he's a pilot. I'm going to go spend $10,000 and get my pilot's license. And then you do that and you set it to that number. And you're like, okay, let's do this. And it doesn't work. And you're like, why is my business failing? Why is nobody following me? Why does nobody love me? It's because you're not using your combination in your lock. You're not living unapologetically you. Okay? So that's super important. I hope if there's one thing you take away from this call, it's that analogy. And you remember it, that even though those individual characteristics aren't very exciting, when you line them up together and you put them out there, it works. Okay? So we're going to move on from that. I hope that was good for you guys. It was good for me. It's always good for me. Okay. So next question we're going to ask. What are some examples of brands? We just sort of touched on a couple of them, but what are things that make you you? I mean, take a look at your life. Like what's you in a nutshell? Maybe you have a dog with a crazy personality. Maybe you're a Christian and you feel called to share your faith with the world. Maybe you're a pilot and you like flying helicopters and planes and things that can kill you. Maybe your dream is to build financial freedom with Beachbody because you know what it's like to live on $2.83 an hour. Maybe you make YouTube videos in your basement. I hope these things all sound familiar because that's me. Those are the characteristics that make up Caleb Thomas. And the thing about those, again, is like when you're looking at your lock, when I'm looking at my lock, those individual numbers on that lock don't really necessarily stand out. Like, yeah, I know other people that have a dog. I know other people that post pictures of their dog. And I know other people that are pilots. I know people like fitness. And I know other people make YouTube videos. There's plenty of YouTubers out there. But nobody out there puts it in the specific combination that I do. I take all of those individual things and I line them up and I put it out there for the world day after day after day after day. And now that I stirred it up into that Caleb stew, that amazing sweet sauce, and throw it out there for everybody, everybody's like, give me more. I love it. So good. But it took time. It took time to develop that. It didn't happen overnight. And the only reason it's happening is because I made the conscious decision to repeatedly put it out there and make it purposely my brand. Okay, so next question. So going back to that last one, when you're thinking about your brand, it's as simple as thinking about what do you do? Like when you see when you look at Chrissy and Matt, like what is Chrissy and Matt? Like, oh, and who's the little Skemeter behind them? Or when you look at JJ Mark, I don't know if that's the name, JJ. Yeah. What makes you you? Like, what makes you the person you are. Or Lovey C. Campbell. I can't see the Campbell soup. I can't see the end of the name, but yeah, just like that. What makes you you? Like, what makes you the person that you are? What do you do? What makes you tick? What do you love? What rocks your heart? What makes you cry? What makes you laugh? Like, what do you do on your free time? Like, that's your brand. Those are the characteristics of your brand. Lara, Gina, Mark, it's a cool last name, Wisniewski. Very cool. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that really bad. Oh, that's another good one. Zonalyn. I like that. Zonalyn. Did I say it right? Zonalyn? That's so cool. It's like Xena, Princess Warrior. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Distracted. Bunny, squirrel. Sheila just woke up. Okay. So next question is, how do I create my brand? This is the question everybody wants me to answer. Caleb, get to it. Just freaking tell me already. How do I create my brand? Okay, this is super simple. Again, you're a unique person, whether you believe it or not, and you shouldn't overcomplicate this. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Again, branding yourself is as simple as being yourself and living it publicly. Even if you think it's boring, even if you think you've got nothing to offer, even if you think it's just like repetitive, because I'll guarantee you it is. My life certainly is, but I live it unapologetically and people eat it up. There's something really special about being real. People often wonder, some people message me about this sometimes, and they're like, Caleb, what do you really like? Like, what do you really like, Caleb? I mean, you're really energetic on your videos and you're really goofy and everything, but like, what do you like in the moments when nobody's watching you? I wish you could watch me with my dog when I'm alone at home. Like, I wish you could see me and her. Like, we're the crazy neighbors that people watch through our kitchen window dancing. Like, she's on her back legs and we're like dancing in the kitchen. That's literally who I am. That's just me. And I live that unapologetically and I put it in my videos, and I'm a little bit zany and crazy high energy. And sometimes people think that's fake, but too bad. That's just who I am. So be real. Be real. Be vulnerable with your audiences. Be like the person you are. And don't even – I just saw Serious Crush. Don't do it. Somebody in the chat box. Who was that? Get back here. Jilly. Oh, Jilly. Calling you out. Oh, there you are. She's smiling. Gotcha. Busted. Okay, anyway. Moving on. So this might bum you guys out. To answer your question, how do I create my brand? I'm going to purposely make the decision and not give you any ideas or suggestions specifically on how to create your brand. I've given you the concept, but if I give you any suggestions or hinted like, Jilly, I think you should make your brand all about being a crush on Caleb, because that's awesome. No, don't do that, because that's not you. Maybe it is. Well, I'm not going to touch on that. But you have to completely come up with your brand right from ground zero on your own. It has to be you, and it takes time to think about. So it's totally worth the effort of sitting somewhere and thinking, what's me? Like, who am I? Like, big question. What's the meaning of life? Who am I? Like, what makes me me? So that's how I answer that question. Sorry, I'm not giving you a specific answer on that one. Okay, next question. Caleb, I'm new to Beachbody. I'm a brand new coach. I just signed up, and I'm still learning all this stuff, and I'm trying to figure all this out. And I'm working on my brand, and it's just not there yet. I haven't discovered what it is. So I'm just going to brand myself for now as, Beachbody coach. Is that cool? No, it's not. It's really, really, really not. Because think about this. When you brand yourself as Beachbody coach, and you see it all the time. You see people sign up all the time, and they're like, hey guys, I just became a Beachbody coach. Look at me. Hey, here's my Beachbody coach website link. Click on it. If you want to buy anything, buy it from me. Check out these challenge pack sales. Check out the Shakeologies. Check out this video link. Check out, well, not like Like, check out this corporate video link. Check out this corporate banner that they just gave us. Check out this web special. Check out this thing. Beachbody, 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 over and over and over. And it's like overnight, just because somebody signed up and paid $40 to become a Beachbody coach, their Facebook transformed from legitimately being that person's life to being Beachbody. And that person went away. And nobody knows where that person is anymore. They're in some dark place in the universe that, like, they discovered what a black hole is, and it's called being a Beachbody coach. And nobody wants anything to do with that because that's not that person. So I want to encourage you guys, if you're new to the business, or even if you're not new to the business and you've been doing this for years now, stop it. Stop doing that. I'll just be really bold and say it. Don't brand yourself as Beachbody. Incorporate Beachbody into your life. Remember what I just said there? Into your life. We're talking about living your life unapologetically and incorporating Beachbody into it and creating that into your brand. Not branding yourself as Beachbody and then hopefully getting Caleb Thomas in there somewhere. Like, well, there's too many sales going on. I guess Caleb can't show up this month. Doesn't work that way. And if that's what you're doing, you're going to burn yourself. No one's going to follow you. No one's going to like your posts. Nobody's going to respond to your messages. Nobody's going to even give you a second thought on social media because nobody cares about that. People go on social media to see you, not to see the latest sales. Just saying. Okay, here's another point with that. When you brand yourself as, not that we need any more reason to not brand ourselves as Beachbody, but when you do that, think about this. You're putting yourself up against a company, $1 billion company called Beachbody, that already has that brand taken, that already has that brand established. $1 billion worth of that brand established. You don't need to compete against that because if you do, you're going to fail. I can guarantee you that almost all of your businesses combined are not even close to being worth $1 billion, okay? So don't compete with Beachbody's brand. They've got it covered. Incorporate Beachbody into your brand, your life. Okay. I hope that sticks because that's a really important point. So we're going to wrap this up here with just a couple more questions just to kind of like, tie this all together. What are a couple tips to remember when you're thinking about branding yourself or being yourself or like putting yourself out, purposely presenting yourself to your following on social media or to your people or whatever, when you're purposely thinking about, okay, how do I want to run my business? Like, what do I want the face of my business to look like? Couple points. Stay consistent. Stay consistent. That's the first most important thing. Think about a couple of these companies like Apple, Mercedes, McDonald's, Beachbody, Southwest Airlines. When you hear these brands, you know exactly who they are, what they do, why they do it, and when you go to that brand, you know what you can expect to get from them because they're consistent. Every single day, Southwest does flights. Every single day, McDonald's produces crappy food. Every single day, Beachbody makes fitness programs and runs a network marketing coach business. Every single day, Mercedes puts out luxury cars. Okay? If you went to McDonald's one day and you had the option of French fries, a burger, apple slices because they're healthier, and SLK Mercedes-Benz, you'd probably think, wait, that's not on the dollar menu. What are we talking about here? I can't afford that. That's not what I came to McDonald's for. And you'd be super confused because suddenly McDonald's isn't being consistent. And you're like, I came here for crappy food, not for a luxury car. I'm going to go somewhere else. Okay. So be consistent. That's super important. Next point. Okay. This is really important. I've said unique on this call over and over and over and over again. And I'll say it even more later. Don't discredit yourself. Don't discredit yourself. I know that's the hardest thing to do because I wrestled with it for so long. I don't have anything to offer. I don't have anything to put out there. I'm struggling because man, all these other people have these rock solid brands and they're like killing it. And I don't know how to do that because I don't have anything. Don't say that crap. Get rid of the negative self-talk. Don't discredit yourself. Don't ever believe that you don't have something to offer this world, even right from day one. Like you do. I've said unique over and over and over on this call for a reason. I've purposely thrown it in there to drive it into your brains to help you maybe realize just a glimmer that you are unique. Like as a person, you've got what it takes. Here's an example. I started making videos right when I was a coach, right when I signed up a little over 2 years ago. And when I first started, like I get like 5 views maybe. And like 4 of those were my mom watching my videos. She'd like watch it 4 times. She's like, "Oh, Caleb, you're so great. You're so funny. I love your videos." And it was like, "Thanks, Mom, for being my entire viewership. I appreciate that." And, it would have been really easy for me in that moment to totally discredit myself and be like, wow, I'm spending hours making these videos, pouring my heart into this stuff because I believe in it and nobody's watching. Like, what's going on? When you start developing your brand, when you start putting yourself out there, if you're a new coach, you're probably feeling this right now. You are putting yourself out there and saying you're super excited about what you're doing and you're inviting people and you're not getting much response. And it's probably super discouraging. Don't discredit yourself. People are watching you like hawks. People are watching. People are wondering what you're going to do here in the future. So don't discredit yourself and know that people are watching. Know that people will come around and know that it does take time to establish your brand. But when you do establish your brand, yeah, baby, it's awesome. Okay. So, here's another good example. Oh, this, I had a little note here. One of my favorite stories of business success is the iPod. Okay. Everybody knows what the iPod is, right? Yeah. Shake head. When the iPod first came out, nobody knew what it was. Amazing how that works, right? And this is the cool part. When the iPod first dropped, there was already other iPod type devices on the market. There was already other MP3 players that were competing with it, and everybody knew what those were, but nobody knew what the iPod was. And the first time that it dropped, they were expecting like millions of sales or millions of dollars or like millions of units of sale or whatever. And they sold like either $265,000 of iPods or 265,000 units of iPods, one of those two. It was like nothing. Like for a tech giant like Apple, when they dropped the iPod, it was like, what did we do? Like we spent a lot of money on getting this product up and running. And Steve Jobs believed in it though. He didn't discredit himself. He didn't discredit the invention that he came up with. And the next year it flopped. 2 years in a row, sucked. Sales were horrible. In fact, for 3 years in a row, their revenue declined because they were pouring so much into the belief of an iPod and marketing it and like putting everything they had into this iPod thing, and it was flopping for 3 years. 3 years. Look up the story. It's really amazing. Everybody knows what an iPod is today, and I would bet that the majority of you guys either have an iPhone or an iPod right now. Most of you guys have it. What was that? What was this? It's like, oh, yeah, we all do. I don't know. We're having a conversation one way because I can't hear anything you're saying. But anyway, the moral of the story is the iPod started like crap and it was like, had no brand established, but he believed in it. He didn't discredit himself. And 3 years later, they are one of the world's biggest tech giants because of that belief. That iPod is what pushed them into the stratosphere, and every household in America had 16 of them. Okay. So don't discredit yourself. Keep going, push your brand. Okay. Next one. This sort of goes with the last one, but I'm just going to touch on it really quick. Exude confidence. Be confident in yourself. Just even if you're not okay, even if you don't feel confident in yourself and you have no confidence in yourself, that's okay. Borrow some of mine. I am confident you guys have exactly what it takes to blow the crap out of your brand and just become rock stars that stand out like a freaking firework in a dark room. You know what I mean? So if you don't have confidence, borrow some of mine or borrow some of Danielle's or borrow some of anybody's. Like just imaginary, like Sheila, she's bubbling over with confidence. Just borrow some of hers. So be confident. Don't discredit yourself. Don't buy into the negative self-talk garbage, because it's just that, garbage. We already touched on that one, Beachbody brand. Don't brand yourself as the Beachbody brand, because that's already done. You are Caleb. You are Danielle. You are Jilly. You are whoever you are with Beachbody incorporated into your life and, transforming your life. Your life. You're not Beachbody influenced by this person named Caleb. It doesn't work that way. It's the other way around. Don't get that confused. So many people do. And the last one that I have to always touch on, because the videos that I make kind of stand out a little bit, and they're very unique in their presentation, the white backdrop and the energy and the way that I cut and paste the clips and everything. And I see a lot of coaches out there trying to emulate / copy that style, which is okay under these circumstances. This is what I want to say. I'm all for emulating successful coaches, or coaches that you admire that they're doing something, or coaches that you see doing something and you're like, I like what they're doing, I'm going to incorporate that into my brand. Awesome. By all means, emulate them. But for the love of Pete, do not copy them. Don't do it, because that's like, again, taking the thing and putting somebody else's combination into your lock. It just does not work. And in some cases, it makes you look really bad. It's the same thing as like not trying to recreate the wheel. Like you can take other snippets from other people's brands and be like, hey, this is my brand because I like this and it resonates with me and it works for me. But it's at the same time, while you're not trying to recreate the wheel, you're not stealing the wheels you're not stealing all 4 wheels off of somebody else's car. Okay. You're not recreating the wheel, but you're not stealing all of the wheels off of somebody else's car and using them on your own, because that's crappy. And that's what gets you arrested. And that's bad. I see a lot of people trying to make videos exactly like mine. And I'm flattered. Like, I admire the effort, and I'm flattered and humbled that they would see that as copyworthy. But at the same time, it's not the same. And I can see it. Like, it's not their brand. It's not who they are. And it just kind of doesn't work for them. So, like, find the coaches that you want to emulate. Find the coaches that, like, you're like, heck yeah, awesome. And then take what you like and morph that into you. Don't go away from this call and be like, I'm going to be exactly like Caleb. Heck yeah. Like, it's not going to work. You're going to fail miserably. You're going to and everyone's going to be like, hey, you're trying to be Caleb. Stop that. So just be yourself. So what it comes down to is, with your brand, I'm gonna wrap it up because we're going on 45 minutes here. Sorry. I know you have lives. What it comes down to with your brand is you've got to tell your story. You got to tell your personal life story. You, nobody else. You got to put yourself out there. Not Caleb, not Danielle, not Lindsay Matway, not Lindsay Stay, not Scotty Hobbs, not anybody else, but you. Don't limit yourself, because I'm looking at all of you guys. Jilly, you are a stunning, unique, beautiful person. In all of your perfections and imperfections. There's a song for that, isn't there? All of your, mess ups and your trials and your victories and everything, they're all amazing, and they make you the person you are. Everything in your past has prepared you perfectly from this moment forward. Like, it's formed you into exactly the person you're supposed to be, and has given you the parts of your brand waiting to be developed. And it would be a shame. It would be a shame if you, no, I don't have your number. And I wouldn't anyway, sorry. I don't do that. I gotta stay professional. Stop it. It would be a shame. It would be a shame if you guys left this call having been told you guys have what it takes, and not believe in that and like leave this call and keep the world from your influence. I just made a post about this the other day on Facebook. Like, you know, you've got everything it takes. Like, you don't starve the world of your influence. Don't keep that from the world, because you're the only person that can ever provide that for the world. Because nobody else is like you. Nobody else can do it like you can. You know, all Beachbody and business and branding and goofiness and fun and well, fun is included in this, but you know, all that side and marketing all on the back burners. And like my prayer for you guys today is that, you know, you guys do see how incredible you are, and you do see that you are unique and how much you do have to offer this world, and that you confidently approach everything from here on out. Your businesses, your marriages, your friendships, your families, your coworkers, your church congregations, your whatever, everybody, you know, with the belief that you do have something to offer, you are unique, and you can impact the lives of others with your life. You know, God put you here for a reason. You're not just a worker bee. He gave you that perfect combination of experiences and tools and talents and skills and everything that you need to just totally rock life. So walk away from this call knowing that and believing that. Even if you still are like questioning, like, what is it? Just know Caleb Thomas told you that it's true. So it must be true. And get out there and like figure it out. You know, ask questions, ask the questions of yourself and figure out your brand and like determine, you know, which direction are you going to take this? Cause that's important. It's super important. The people that take the time to figure this stuff out are the ones that stand out. I say it from experience because I ran my business for 6 months, not giving a crap about any of this. And then I sat down and I figured it out and things started to work. So that's my call. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here and listening. I mean, it's says a lot that you guys would be willing to all stay on a call for close to 50 minutes listening to some goofball talk about branding. But you know, you guys are awesome. I love you. That's all.
Caleb, thank you so much. That was like awesome. And I just have one word for you.
Sure.
Anus. I said it. All right. But like, I have to say, I just want to, I just had to say it. Anus, anus, anus. Okay, now I'm done. So I just wanted to say that lock presentation was, I don't know if it was my rum and diet, but I got the chills. Legit. No,
I saw you sipping on that. I was like, that's alcohol.
Listen, I have a 7-month-old.
Wasted.
He's sleeping. And I'm like, hey-o. But seriously, that lock presentation couldn't have been like, that is so perfect because listen, I'll tell you, the confidence thing, when I went to Summit for the first time 2 years ago, I remember, oh my God, please forgive me, the coach for Body Beast, Saji
Kalev.
Okay, I'm like Saji. So he said, right? Saggy anus. What? Just kidding. All right, now the call's just getting crazy. So
hey, you're the drunk one,
right? It's the rum and diet. But so he said something so awesome, and I remember I had my little notebook and I wrote it down. He said, "Fake it till you make it." And listen, we don't want anyone to be fake. That's not what we're saying. But what Caleb was saying is, you know, exude confidence because, you know, if who's going to want to go to you if you're like, imagine someone comes up to you and they're like, so do you like working out? And you go, well, I mean, I like it, but I don't know. I mean, some days I do, and I don't know. Okay, right. So I'll talk to you later. Or they might come to you and say, so do you like to be fit? And you'll say, listen, when I get fit, I feel so amazing. I'm a nicer person. I'm a better wife. I'm a better, well, if you're a man, you say I'm a better husband. You know, I'm a great father. I'm a great mother. They're going to go, all right, you know what? I want to get into this. So when they say fake it till you make it, it doesn't matter if you're a 3-star diamond coach or you're an elite coach or you just signed up as a new coach. The point is, be confident in what you believe in. You don't have to be the best now, you know, just better than yesterday, you know, and as the 21-day fix program says, be better than yesterday and just exude that you believe in what you started now. Who cares what you were yesterday? That's not what it's about.
Yeah, guys, this is part of my story too. Like when I first started as a coach, I was a brand new coach, had no clue what I was doing, but I believed I was a diamond coach. And I thought and I figured out how to think and act like a diamond coach. And suddenly I became a diamond coach. Now I'm thinking I'm a 15-star diamond coach. I've got at least 25 diamonds personally sponsored on my team. Like I have a 7-figure income that's like going high. Like I have all this stuff. I've got like a team. Like I'm just about ready to get scheduled for a national wake up call. I have like so much going on with this business. It is amazing. I'm going to get recognized at Summit this year. If you think like that person, it's just a matter of time until you become that person. I'm faking it. I'm faking it. I'm not a 15-star diamond coach, but I am.
It's true. I mean, whether you believe in this or not, there's The Secret, the book or the movie called The Secret, and you don't have to be religious. It's not really about that. It's just about whatever you truly believe. It really does come true. I mean, this world has magic in it. Whether you believe in magic or you believe in fate or you believe in working hard, if you believe it, you can do it. You know, that's why they say fake it till you make it. It just basically means, you know, you keep thinking it and it will come true. And being you is so important. And sometimes it takes you a while to be you. I've had people come to me, Caleb, I've had people come to me and say, Danielle, I only got like 2 likes on my post. Well, why? Were you being you, or were you trying to be somebody else? I've had people come and say, can I use your post? And it's like, I'm flattered you love my post, but take what you like out of it, but make it yours. Take the concept, but make it yours. Like, don't just like share it, because no one's going to really care. I hate to say that, but they're going to see a share and they're probably just going to scroll right through it. So I just think the confidence, that lock presentation, being yourself, and huge thing, Caleb, that I love that you said. I love the fact that it took, 3 years to get you to sign on? Yeah. So I have a coach of mine, Willie Spencer, that I literally, we talk about forming is one of the vital behaviors, and I literally formed Willie for like 2 years. I met him at Summit. He just had a ridiculous 8-pack by the pool. And he was walking by Candace and I was like, hello, Beachbody coach, you know? And then we started talking, and I, of course, like totally shouted out like, hey, how's your 8-pack? And we started talking. He's like, I love Insanity. And I was like, so have you thought about coaching? Anyway, they really didn't, him and his friend didn't even think anything of it. In fact, they just said yes. And then 2 years later, Willie finally signed up, but as a discount coach because he liked Beachbody. And then, of course, he saw one of our coaches' paychecks and was like, wait a minute. So, like, you really can make money from this? And he, of course, loved fitness and likes to, you know, he wants a better lifestyle for himself. So now he's just going like buck nutty. He's just ridiculously amazing. And his friend, I couldn't get his friend to sign up, but guess who got his friend to sign up? He did. His friend's like, it's a pyramid scheme. He pretty much almost told me on Facebook to not bother him about it again. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll get around to you somehow. And I did. So, you know, indirectly, but we did. And his name's Harold Barnes, and I knew he'd be fantastic. And now Harold's on the team. So super excited. So I love the fact that you don't give up.
That attitude that you just portrayed, though, that, yeah, whatever, I'll get around you somehow. That's the only reason I'm here. Yeah. You know, I was seriously my coach's hardest person. Like, I was the person that was like, I did believe, and it's so funny when I'm making these videos about like, no, it's not a pyramid scheme, or when I'm making a video about, no, we're not slimy salespeople, or when I'm laughing inside because I'm like, man, rewind 2 years ago, and that was who I was. That was what I believed. That's like, you know, it took so long to get through those barriers that I had built up, but he had that belief in me, and he saw something that I couldn't even see in myself. And I know you guys have that power too, because you're Beachbody coaches. You can see that in other people. It's something magical that happens when you become, you know, an entrepreneur. You see the potential in other people's lives. And it's just up to you now. You have a responsibility. Do you stick with that? And do you follow that in your heart and your gut? Or do you give up on people? and maybe they never get to go through a radical life transformation because you gave up on them. It's a big responsibility. Think of it that way. Like, get yourself out of your own little shell and about how it's affecting me. It's not, oh, they're not signing up, so my business isn't growing. No, they're not signing up, and you're giving up on them, and they're never going to go through a radical life transformation because of it. Like, when you think about it from their perspective, you'll do a lot more than you're willing to do if you're just thinking about yourself selfishly.
Yeah, and go with your gut, guys. I mean, listen, 6th sense, we all have it. You know, when you get that gut feeling that you're like, something's not right or something is right, go with it. Don't doubt yourself. You know, like, if you feel like, I know this person would be an awesome coach, then keep going for it. Literally until the person says, I'm going to have a restraining order against you, then stop.
Yeah.
My husband's a lawyer. Just call me. But so anyways, I just think that's fantastic. And one more thing I want to say, and then if you have time, Caleb, I'd love to open this up for questions. I'm sure everyone's anxious to talk to you.
Sure.
But one more thing I just want to say is I think that it's so important that you realize people are watching you. Sometimes, like, I may not get as many likes as on my challenge group post as my 7-month-old baby, like, doing something really funny post. It will get like 100 likes, and then like my challenge group will get like 30 likes. And I'm like, oh, how come I'm not getting like 100? Like, my baby's barefoot the other day or something kind of silly. But then I'll go out and they'll be like, oh, I always see your posts and I've been meaning to ask you about Shakeology. And I'm like, so you are watching my posts, you know? And sometimes I think no one saw it. Just because they don't like it doesn't mean you're not being watched. So again, don't discredit yourself just because no one liked it. You're just keep doing it and be consistent. Like McDonald's and Wendy's and all these chain restaurants, they're not great. They're just consistent. And people at the end of the day just want consistency. Unfortunately, it's America. Not everyone needs 5-star. They just need consistency, because what's consistent is comfortable. What's comfortable will be successful. So anyways, enough about that and me talking. I want you guys to ask Caleb any questions that you want. So anyone want to ask a question? If you want to just unmute yourself, and hopefully it doesn't get too... Anyone want to ask a question?
Who's coming to Cancun?
Oh, God, I wish.
Okay, we got a couple. Awesome.
I actually have a question. Can you hear me?
Okay, who am I looking at? I can hear you. I don't know who you are, though. Where are you?
Right here.
Identify yourself. Oh, yeah. Jacqueline. Okay. Jacqueline.
So, question about what you guys were actually just talking about, how you kind of have like this instinct about people, and you like know that they would be so good at this and that they would love doing it. But, and you've talked to them about it and they say like, no, I don't think that's for me, but like, I still want to like be in your groups or like do the stuff or whatever. How do you go about like continually talking about it to them and like trying to get them to see how good they would be at it without pushing them away to the point where like they don't even want to like be working with you anymore? Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like I've brought it up a couple times and I've tried to like explain how like she'll tell me these things that she thinks is a reason not to do it, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so much more reason to do it. And it's just like, I don't know, I feel like you can become so annoying that like what you said, Danielle, like they would eventually want a restraining order on you, which I don't want to get to that point, but how do you not overdo it, I guess?
So one thing that I had to get really comfortable with as a Beachbody coach was turning people off. Like actually getting blocked and getting unfriended and being told to like leave me alone and taking it to that point. And, I don't know if I have the perfect approach, but I'm relentless enough that I've had plenty of people unfriend me and block me on Facebook. At the same time, like I think there's a way to do it. Like if you just be like every single time you message them, like, hey, I'd like to invite you to my challenge group. Hey, I'd like to invite you to my challenge group. Hey, I'd like to, it's like, come on, seriously. But like for me, I remember the big thing that really like got me thinking was it was one day I was driving to work in my apron, and I was super upset because I had to go to work, and I was mad, and I was like, this job sucks. And my coach, my now sponsor coach, messaged me. He's like, dude, I'm just about to go on a cruise, and I wish so bad you were going with me. And I was like, what the freak? Like, are you serious? Like, I have to go on the bus tables, and he's in Miami, or he's wherever he is about to go on a cruise. Just the fact that he reached out to me with that and just like told me, he's like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Like, I wish so bad you were here with me. Like, it was heartfelt. Like, he really did wish I was there with him. But that's what made the difference for me. That's what really made me think, like, doggone it. Like, why am I not there with him? Like, why not? It made me question, like, why not me? Like, so just, I think it's just a matter of, finding creative ways to just speak to their needs. Cause he knew I hated my job. He knew I had hours that I hated. He knew I wanted to travel more. He took the time to find those things out about me. And then he started like pushing those buttons that, so if you take the time to learn about your people, if you take the time to learn about the person that you're constantly getting rejected by, and you start speaking their language, and you start really like speaking to what their needs are and what they would desire and want with their life, and how Beachbody can provide that solution in one way or another. Like, not everybody wants fitness programs. Not everybody wants Shakeology. Not everybody wants a business opportunity. If you learn specifically what they need, it'll give you more opportunity to reach out to them and connect with them. Some people are hard to crack, and those are the people I get blocked by. Sorry. See ya. But
That's like, honestly, I have to say, you just nailed it. Like, that's the key, guys. When you're forming with somebody, you need to listen to them. It's not about you. It's about them. What do they need? Write that down. Whoosh. With the sound effect. Whoosh. But seriously, write that down. Like, that's huge. What do they need? What can you give them? Try not to think it's not about it's that little whip around.
sorry. Here's my checkbook.
Seriously, it's not, you got to think sometimes, it's not really, try not to think about you, because at the end, what you're doing is you're here to help others. So what can you do to help them?
That's a huge point that a lot of people miss in this business. They sign up for the business for themselves. I like saying this a lot too. I just made a video about it. You have to be selflessly selfish in this business, or selfishly selfless. You sign up to get benefit from this business, but to get that benefit, you've got to take second place and be selfless and really focus on other people. And I know that's the hardest thing to do, is to give up your freedom so other people can get. But as soon as you help other people get, you get your freedoms tenfold in return. So, really focus on other people. It's so hard initially to do. Like, no, I just gotta sell one more challenge pack. Just buy it, please. But focus on what they need, and I promise it'll work out. Promise. Next question.
Anyone else? Come on. We must have tons. Like, hello, Kayla Thomas is on the line. Take advantage. Bueller? Just kidding, but not really. Anyone?
Come on, Julie. I know you have a question.
I have a question.
Wait, okay. Identify yourself.
I'm Dawn. My camera's not working, so I'm a picture.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi. So you are obviously very confident, and you have a strong self-belief, and I know you have strong faith, but have you ever struggled with that? Because I find, when I'm trying to help my downline, I find that they're just not having that self-confidence. So do you have any tips on helping them overcome that?
Building confidence. The easy answer would be, I made a video about that, so go watch it. No, I'm just kidding. But I actually did. I'm trying to think of how to approach that. I think it's really a personal development. I know everyone's like, personal development. Like, personal development really is like a huge pivotal part of my day. I spend an hour to 2, sometimes even 3 hours in the morning, because I'm full-time. I have the ability to do this. Up to 3 hours some days, diving through multiple personal development books that deal with confidence, that deal with management, that deal with leadership ability, that deal with, things that, self-belief, self-worth, negative self-talk, blah, blah, blah. Like every time you see me make a video, it's because I get to something in a personal development book that's like, oh, life-changing. I got to share this. And then I come out with this video and everyone's like, oh my gosh, Caleb, where do you come up with all your ideas? And I'm like, I'm just a genius. I'm like, no, I'm really not. I just read a lot of books. But I think personal development is probably one of the biggest things. You get them on personal development because it shows them that they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be like, what's that?
Sorry, that's my son.
Okay. No, personal development is a big one. And then it's just a matter of like, as their leader, showing them that you believe in them. I think that's a really, really big one. Like if you see them doubting themselves, like go to them, be like, listen, did you say Dawn? Is it Dawn?
Yes.
Be like, Dawn, like, I can't even see your face right now, but I hear it in your voice. I can tell that you wanted to ask that question so bad. And it's so clear to me that you wanted to ask me that question about confidence. And I am so proud of you. I just want you to know that. Like, I wanted to take the time to let you know that I'm proud of you. Like, I know I'm just being goofy right now, but like just taking some time and telling them that like, hey, listen, I know you're struggling with some self-confidence, but I want you to be confident in the fact that I see it in you. Like you've got what it takes. And sometimes just that little pep talk, that's a tough leadership thing. Like that's just a tough, like, what it comes down to is some people choose to be confident and some people choose not to be confident. And you can help show them that there is a choice to be confident, but it's ultimately up to them to make that choice, to live that. So your job is to show them that they have a choice.
Hey, Tom, just to also reiterate, sometimes people, this is actually to everybody, actually. Sometimes if you're, say you are vulnerable, sometimes that can work in one's benefit. Like, for example, I just posted a Brazil butt lift. I just posted before and afters for my last Brazil butt lift challenge group, and I wanted people to see that it really works. And I put mine in there, and like, I have to tell you, like, for some reason you can post your abs and you can post your biceps,
when you post a picture of your anus.
But when you post a picture of your bum hole, no, when you post a picture of your butt, you keep laughing. Caleb, you're killing me. I love it. When you post a picture of your butt, though, I was just talking to Candace. I'm like, because I even sent a picture of her before I posted. I'm like, should I do it? And she's like, just ask your husband. And I showed my husband, like, should I do it? He's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's like, do it. Yeah. But, for some reason, the butt's like one of those things that you're just like, you get shy. So what I did was in my post, I really wasn't confident posting it. But what I did say in my post is, okay, I'm closing one eye and pressing post because it's not easy to show your backside, but I'm going to do it just to prove it works. So sometimes you can take your, your insecurities and your vulnerability, and you can use it to your advantage to relate to people that, hey, I'm human and I'm real. It's okay. So it's okay to use that. It does work in your benefit if you use it that way, because people can say, you know what, she really means it. She's being honest and she's being genuine, and that's someone that I can trust. So, it's okay to be vulnerable, but just be honestly vulnerable and not, you know what I mean? And I hope that makes sense. Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Who's next? Jilly. Jilly has something she wants to ask.
Hi. First and foremost, I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable. I'm just a goofball. So that was all fun and games. Okay, don't put a restraining order against me. So I'm brand new at this, like literally 2 weeks old, and it's going well, but I'm having a lot of problems. Like the people that I thought would come through and like support me want nothing to do with me. Like family, close friends that I thought would be good at that. Sorry, I'm at work. My radio's going off. And it's really weighing me down because I feel like I'm just giving so much of myself to these people. Like my aunt last night, I met her at the gym last night and to spend an hour with her, And, she was like, I'm going to buy this product, da, da, da. Text me today. I need time to think about it. It's like, I'm literally feeling I'm just going to pull my hair out at this point sometimes, and so I just I don't know how to deal with that, being rejected by the people that you think are going to come through for you and then they don't. It's one thing if it's just a complete stranger and it's like, okay, whatever, but do you know what I'm saying?
I do. I know exactly what you're saying. And the thing to remember about this business is that in everything you do, there's a delay. I like to say there's a 6-month delay factor. And the people you invite today, or the people you talk to today, or the people you help today are the ones that are going to add to your business 6 months from now. And that's a really tough thing. That's a really tough pill to swallow, especially for people that are like in this. They're like, I need to make money. Like, I got to make production happen here because my bills are coming and my money's not there or whatever. But just go into this business like you're brand new, so you're still like developing your concepts about this business. Go into this business with a 1-year attitude. Like, plan to be on this call when I come back on this call 1 year from today. Danielle, mark that down. That you will be here 1 year from today.
Okay.
That perspective then. And you'll see the people that you talked to at the beginning starting to come back to you. Okay, so this is funny. I started 2 years ago as a coach, just over 2 years ago. And I literally just had, it was two or 3 days ago, somebody that was like, I have my invite book here. Someone at the very beginning of my invite book that I made, like on the first page, just got back to me. And I had followed up with them purposely. They ignored me. I heard crickets. I didn't hear a single word back from them. They finally got back to me. They're like, Caleb, I think I'm interested in this. Tell me about Beachbody On Demand. And I did that little, okay, let me tell you about it. Like just that huge long delay, 2 years. Took them 2 years to come around. So yeah, this sounds harsh, but don't expect instant gratification in the business. Like it takes time. It really does. I like the analogy of you're planting seeds. Right. Every single person you're talking to, and every time you post something, you're throwing out seeds and scattering them, and they're getting planted. Some of them are blowing away. Some of them are getting planted in rough soil. Some of them are getting in fertile soil, and it's just a matter of time until they're watered and they sprout. It's like a farmer going out and planting a seed and expecting to automatically be able to pull up a plant and sell it. Like, it doesn't, anyone would be like, that's ridiculous. You can't do that. Like, you're dumb. You don't know how to farm. It's the same for us coaches. Like, you can't just talk to somebody and immediately think, well, immediate trust, immediate sale, like money in the bank, like coach sign up tomorrow, probably going to be a star diamond by the end of the week. Like, it doesn't happen that way. Like, it just, everything in this business is about time, is really about time. And just, that's so many people that quit. Many people that quit. Like, they walk away and they're like, this just isn't working. You'd be like, no, I see what you're doing and it is working. Like, you're just where I was 1 year ago. Like, if you could be where I am right now, would you stick with it? And they'd be like, well, yeah. And then they quit. And it's like, that's the only difference is time, just time and consistent effort. Just hang in there. So
thank you. I really need to hear that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, don't give up. Never, ever, ever give up. I'll see you a year from now.
I wrote that down, so you really have to know.
Okay.
April 9th. April 9th.
Who's next? Anyone else?
This is great stuff, guys. I just want you to know I love doing this.
I mean, this is like, honestly, has to be the best call ever. Anyone
no
else?
big deal.
I'm just so excited.
Never give up.
Let's go.
Look at the puppy.
All right, well, then I'm just going to stay on the line with Caleb for like another 2 hours talking about like funny shit.
Yeah. I have a question. JJ Mark has a question.
Okay, cool.
Wait, I just saw you a couple minutes ago. Get back here. Hold on, I don't know who JJ Mark. Should I even go back and look at the chats? I saw a couple popping cameras.
Janelle, I just unmuted you. You're all set.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, your sister, Joanne, that's awesome. Your sister told me she was on the verge of blocking me. Hey, tell you what, my family is some of the toughest sells. Like, tell you what, my one sister, she does not like the fact that I'm working from home building this business. She doesn't get it. She also doesn't know that one of my whys and reasons for building the business is so I can send her entire family to Disney World, all expenses paid. So maybe she'll understand then. But yeah, don't give up on them. Okay. Oh my God, stop. You're awesome. I think something, what? Okay, you're going to type it. My 15-year-old now loves, that's not the question. Never mind. When you approach people about challenges. Oh, the suspense is killing me. Do you run your challenge group by product? Or dun, dun, dun. This is so Ridic.
Now we're saying my dick. We start doing this because I mean
I think if I can anticipate the question is, do you focus on a program or do you keep it open to different programs? If that's the question, I'll answer. Yeah, or do you keep it open? Yes. Okay. So when I run challenge groups, I do both. I run program-specific challenge groups when they do a big product release. So when Insanity Max 30 came out, there was a huge demand for Insanity Max 30. The whole 2 months leading up to it, I was pushing. And I had plenty of people lined up to buy their challenge packs and start Insanity Max 30 right then and there. Other than that, I personally always run open groups. Doesn't mean that's the best thing to do. Doesn't mean that's what you should do. Excuse me, burp. I personally run open challenge groups because I find that I like to keep a constant flow of people coming in over and over and over again. And if somebody has one program that they want to focus on, or if somebody this is what I do. When I talk to people about joining a challenge group, they join and they say, how do I start, coach? Put me in. What do I do? And I say, well, let's figure out what program works for you. And then I send them a couple YouTube video links and they look at the different program challenge packs and they say, oh, that one sounds really interesting. And if they say, T25 sounds really interesting, I'm not going to be like, well, I'm only running a Body Beast challenge group, so Body Beast or nothing. And maybe I'll work with you some other month. If they want T25, heck yeah, I'm going to let them in. I'm going to coach them that way. And the cool thing is, when the benefit of that is when you have, there's pros and cons. I think the biggest benefit is when you have people in your challenge groups posting about their specific programs and talking about, oh, today's T25 workout was really hard. Someone's like, well, I'm doing Body Beast. What's T25? You get that cross-contamination, and then you get people interested in next programs, and it kind of leads one thing to another. So yeah, it's easier to populate challenge groups, one, when you leave it open, and two, you get that cool cross-contamination thing when you have your challenge group members talking about it. And this brings up a point. You're all running challenge groups, right?
Right.
I'll answer that question for you. Right. Do you find people respond to that, and how do you do that without being adversity? I like what you I never see you post stuff about what's special that month. So are you approaching individuals then? Yes, I am. That's what I said. I very rarely post sales or anything about Beachbody on my page. The reason being is people know I'm a Beachbody coach. They know they can come to me for Beachbody products because I've established that as part of my brand. I've told people plenty enough in my videos and things that I'm a Beachbody coach. But the most important thing is I am behind the scenes in my inbox like a madman messaging people and texting people on my business phone, texting people on my business phone, and calling people and making invites and doing all that stuff behind the scenes. Okay. That's where I get all my people. No, they do not just flock to me. That's not true. Anybody that thinks just because I have a really popular YouTube channel that it's just easy and I just like make sales left and right, doesn't happen. I fight for Success Club 10 every month. Yep. They don't obviously flock to me. No, they don't. I know it's so easy to think that. Oh, he's really popular. He has 10,000 followers on Facebook. Oh, he just says, hey, who wants to buy a challenge pack? And he has a line waiting. It's not true. It doesn't work that way. The reason I get the points I get is because for months now, I've been reaching out behind the scenes to people, and they're coming around one by one gradually. Those seeds are starting to sprout.
That's the thing about challenge groups. You don't have to necessarily. I have so many new coaches that are like, I'm like, have you thought about a challenge group? And they're like, I'm so scared. And I'm like, well, if you think about it, it's not like you have to post like, I'm running a challenge group. Dun, 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 dun. All you have to do is literally say you were like doing, I don't know, some triathlon and you needed a few partners. You'd literally call your friends up and be like, hey, listen, I'm doing this program and I really just want some people to do it with me, just for motivation. Would you be interested? And you explain what you're doing. You be casual. Like you can just call friends as if to say, would you want to do that or no? I mean, I really would love to have someone with me, but let me know. It would be awesome. I think we'd have a lot of fun if we did it together. You weren't selling anything just then. You were just asking them. So challenge groups can be 5 people. Imagine how those 5 people, if 2 became rock star coaches, like don't necessarily think I have to have 60 people in my group. 5 is plenty. Get 5 people that get results, and then those results can equal huge things in the future. So
my first challenge group had 1 person in it. My mom. It was my mom. And
That's
she was
awesome.
in the group because you have to add 1 person to the group to get it started. She was the person. So I had technically 0 people.
So, hey, listen, we've all had flops. So I've actually posted for challenge groups too before, and I ended up like not even doing the challenge group because no one did it. I mean, it happens. It's okay to fail. Failure equals success. It's okay because you learn. I did event planning for 10 years before I coached, and I opened a restaurant. And I can't tell you that everything I learned was from something I royally effed up on, literally. Like the things that I like when I train people, when I retired recently to be a stay-at-home mom because of Beachbody, because I can now. When I interviewed for my own restaurant to fill my management position, do you know what I asked people during my interview? I said to them, so this isn't going to discredit you. It's actually going to make you a stronger candidate if you answer this honestly. And they were like, so I said, so tell me the mistakes you've made in the past and what you learned from it. And because I'm telling you, when I say you'll never forget something you effed up on, ever, you're going to make sure that's perfect moving forward. And this is no different. This business, you fail, you're going to know, you know what? I ain't going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again. And so when you start to weed out all the things that don't work, you're left with what works, which could equal your niche, right? Or your combination. So don't be afraid to fail.
I just got a question privately here from somebody about and I'm gonna have to go here in just a couple seconds, but someone asked, how do you, when you get Success Club leads or customer leads, how do you get them to answer you? How do you get them to contact you back? And when you're reaching out to your leads, how do you make a connection as a coach? And I think this is kind of all across the board, and I don't want to generalize too much, but I have a hard time getting any of my leads to respond to. So if you're emailing out to your leads and you're like, hey, I'm so excited to work with you. I'm your coach. I'm so happy to see you on my team roster. How do you like your P90X3 so far? And it's like, cricket, cricket, cricket. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. You just the leads that come through Beachbody are little turd burglars, and they don't like responding for some reason. But don't give up on reaching out to them, because I've had a couple people come back to me and they're like my longtime loyal customers. One person started out, they bought a Shakeology. This is just the one example I always share. One person bought a one-time bag of Shakeology, and I got them as a lead through Success Club, I believe. And I reached out to them and was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that, if you decide to order Shakeology in the future, like, put it on HD so you save the money on the shipping, and you can cancel at any time if you don't want to receive any future orders. And they're like, it's not on HD? Like, what? Like, I only got one bag? And here they ended up, they meant to order 2 bags on HD. And the only reason they found out about it was because I reached out to them as a lead, and they ended up putting 2 bags of Shakeology on HD, and they've been on HD ever since with 2 bags every month. So that's what can happen if you get leads and you reach out to them. So don't give up on them. But again, to answer that question, don't take it personally if they don't get back to you. Just keep trying. I have a system. It's kind of crazy, I think. It's a little bit over the top, but I have the time to do it because I'm a full-time coach. The first time I email them. The second time I send them a text message if they have a phone number available. And the third time to follow up, I call them directly. And it's pretty forward, I think, for free leads, but it works.
I like that. You don't get a hold of me.
A lot of crickets.
From me.
That phone call at the end, though, gets a lot of them. They're like, hello? We're like, hi, it's your Beachbody coach. Click. Yeah.
That's awesome. I thank you so much. This was like an amazing call. And again, like the fact that you're able to do this last minute, I know it was like, I got the pressure this week of, hey, Dee, you think you can find someone like really awesome to do our call? And I was like, and of course you came to mind because I love a sense of humor. I think a sense of humor is the way to everyone's heart. That's just me. That's the way to my heart. So some people it's food. Food is also mine too.
You can go through the anus.
Oh, exactly. Oh my God.
Drop the mic, walk away.
5, 6. But seriously, like you definitely have gotten through to so many people. Like sometimes everyone's like, I've sent your, what is it, Beachbody coach? Just so many people. It made them laugh so hard. And I know a lot of people. Oh, too. I know, but it's just the music, but like the music.
I gotta update that one. I gotta make a better version.
No, you gotta keep that music because that's what always kills us. But it's just awesome, and everyone was really excited. Like when I kind of popped that on the team page, you were like, "What?" So thank you again. It was amazing, and
thank you guys.
Hopefully our team will get to see you at Summit and say hello. And that was awesome. You're just amazing. So thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it. Love you guys.
All right, guys. Good night. Hope you enjoyed everything.
Bye-bye.
Bye.